Chavre, was macht ihr? Hello, how are you? I hope everyone is gesund, stark und freilich begashmis beruchnis. I hope everyone is healthy, strong, and happy physically and spiritually. It's very, very late. It's a late Friday afternoon and an early Shabbos Friday in the winter. So we'll make it very, very short. Mitzad Sibay, Shoynis, and Mishunis. I wasn't able to get it together. Hashem should help all of us to get everything together in our lives. Today we're coming to Erev Shabbos. We're coming to Shabbos Devarim, Tisha B'Av Nidche. Amazing, 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 powerful day. So we'll talk about the power of transformation, the mission of transformation, the mission of making a change in the world. We'll start as usual with the prayer. Yiratzenu v'necha Adonai Eloheinu v'le'aviseinu sheyiboneh beis hamikdosh b'meira v'yameinu v'seichel keinu b'seir sechel. We mentioned this before. We turn to Hashem and we ask Him, sheyiboneh beis hamikdosh b'meira v'yameinu. We've had enough golos. There's enough problems. Everybody should have a good life. L'chol b'nei Yisrael b'chol mokim shem in particular. Okay. In this week's Parsha, in general, I think we've mentioned this before, that many people say that from this week's Parsha, Parsha's Devarim, Eila Devarim, we start the longest Farbrengen, Chassidische Farbrengen in the history of Am Yisrael. There's going to be a Farbrengen from Reish Chodesh Shvat till Zayin Oder, a 36-37 day Farbrengen with Moshe Rabbeinu until he passes away. What is there more geschmack than sitting in Farbrengen and listening to the greatest speaker of all time giving the greatest speech? This is Moshe Rabbeinu before he's nostalgic, and he's giving us lessons for the rest of the history of the entire Jewish nation until Mashiach. So one of the things that it says over here, it says that Be'ever Ayadim Beretz Moyev Hoyel Moshe Be'eres HaTorah Azois Leimer. Moshe started explaining the Torah. Rashi says, B'shivim Loshen Pirshalem. He explained the Torah in 70 languages. Over here comes the famous Klotz Kasha. What is Moshe Rabbeinu doing? That he has to explain the Torah in Chinese, Japanese, Italian, French, English? What's the point? Everybody then, excuse me, sorry. Everybody then spoke only Lashon Kodesh. So why do we have to explain the Torah in 70 languages? So I once heard from the Rebbe Farbrengen that the Rebbe said, I don't remember when, but the Rebbe said, over here we see what a true Jewish leader is. A true Jewish leader is not only worried about immediate situations, but a true Jewish leader is someone who's already concerned about the future. And he's already taking care of things for the future, many, many thousands of years ahead. Whatever the situation, as long as he realizes there's a need for something that has to be taken care of, he'll take care of it. So that's one word I once heard from the Rebbe Farbrengen. But then I once heard another word. I don't know where I saw this. And the Rebbe said, I made it a word. Something similar that we spoke in the concept of Shlach L'chol L'Daitcha. In the world, we have Kedusha, like davening and learning. Those are things that are holy. That's the natural realm of a Jew. And then we have what's called Sholosh Klippos HaTameis, that which is considered what you should stay away from because it's harmful, generally speaking. And then we have what's called Klippas Nega, which is, we'll call it neutral for now. And there we say that a Jew is meant to be in a mode of engagement. There's disengagement and there's engagement. Yes, but where do we get the power from? It's not so simple to be able to go out into the world and transform the world, not the opposite way around, that you should become affected and lowered by the world. And then we can go even deeper. And that is in the insights, through the understanding of the world of Chassidus and what Torah Chassidus teaches us about the idea of Eined Movadei. There's only one true reality. There's only one true existence. There's only one absolute existence, godliness. So that's the truth, godliness. Everything else was created. But then the question is, why was it created? In other words, we have a Likuz B'Pshitas. The only thing that really exists, the only thing that always was and always will be is God. Now he created a world, and the purpose of the world, in other words, the world is also God. Einoid Milvadoi. And our job is to reveal how the whole world is God. The whole purpose of creation is that we, through our serving God, with Torah and mitzvahs, and in general being engaged with the world, a Jew who sheds light into the world, elevates the world, and reveals what the true existence of the world is. How do we do that? When a Jew takes an apple and makes a bracha, Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam, Borei creates and eats the apple and has in mind when he eats the apple that he's going to utilize the energy that's in the apple to channel it and sublimate it to God. That means that he showed that what's the apple? The apple was not meant to exist in order to be a temptation, that I should find something pleasurable and something which is devoid of God. No, the whole purpose why the apple was created in the first place, the whole purpose of the reason why the apple was created in the first place was in order to strengthen me, in order to serve God better. So what's the apple? The apple is not anything but something which is a tool, an instrument to enhance my Judaism, to enhance godliness in the world and God's presence in the world. Now the same thing is true about everything. Like it says in the Mishnah Pirkei Avos, Kol ma shebara HaKadosh Baruch Hu, whatever Hashem created, He created l'chvaydei, for His honor. In other words, to reveal how He is the only true existence. And that's how we reveal how everything is really God. So now comes the question, and this is the Rebbe's approach about technology. Whatever it is, there's something that didn't exist before, WhatsApp. There's something that didn't exist before, a car. There's something that didn't exist before, a microwave. You have to realize, the reason why gold was created, like we mentioned many times before, the reason why gold was created in the first place was that it should be used to give charity, to help another person, to use it to build the most beautiful building in your community or shul. And that's how you reveal the godliness of the gold. When you reveal the purpose and the meaning of why it exists in the first place. So now we talk about something which is like one of the most powerful tools in the world. Language. Communication. There's Lashon Kodesh. Lashon Kodesh is Kedusha. But then there's Japanese, Chinese, French, English, Spanish. That's not Kedusha. That's Klipas Noiga. And here comes the unbelievable lesson of Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu is going to teach us and is giving us the koyach of going into the world and showing us how he takes something from Klipas Noiga. Not only it's just something, but one of the most powerful things of Klipas Noiga. Language, which you can call it neutral. Now is not time to get into the whole meaning of the real word of Klipas Noiga, but it's not Kedusha. And show us that is the purpose of Judaism. In a way, it goes hand in hand. Yes, there's Lashon Kodesh, which is higher, which is holier. But then there's also languages. And the purpose of why all these languages exist in the first place was because there might be somebody who only understands that language, and we have to bring the Torah to them, to the level that they're holding. Right now, they understand Japanese, Chinese, French, so we have to bring the Torah to them where they're at. And that's why Moshe Rabbeinu translated the Torah into 70 languages. So it teaches us two things. Number one, the idea that everything in the first place was created, and the only reason why it was created, in order to become elevated, we engage with it and show how it also becomes an instrument that helps reveal godliness. And second of all, it becomes part and used to spread Torah practically. And Moshe gives us this koyach. And that's one of the things we learn from the fact that Moshe translated the Torah into 70 languages. Obviously, the connection, this Shabbos, we spoke about it just recently about Shivas of Tammuz that falls on the Shabbos. Obviously, the Shabbos, the idea that Tisha B'Av becomes a Tisha B'Av Nidcha, shows on the highest level of transformation. We transform language. We show how something that could be used in a negative way is used in a positive way. So too, and one of the greatest ideas and levels of transformation is to take a day of Tisha B'Av, which represents the saddest day of the year, and we show how this is the beginning of Mashiach. We take it and we show how it's going to be transformed into a day which is mamish, a foretaste of Mashiach. Shabbos of Yom Sheku Shabbos of Menucha. We have Mashiach in our time by taking not only a weekday, not only a day that could have been one of the days of the 3 weeks, but Tisha B'Av itself. The day Tisha B'Av becomes a day where there cannot be any even hint to mourning. So that's the connection to this Shabbos. Now, this past week was the yahrzeit of one of the most famous Chassidim of all time, Rabbi Yoel Khan, my Mashpia. And I think the connection to this week's Parsha is very obvious. Moshe Rabbeinu translated the Torah into 70 languages. Rabbi Yoel Khan was the one who brought Chassidus. Now, he didn't translate the Torah into 70 languages, but the idea of reaching out to people and reaching everybody, this is what was Rabbi Yoel's specialty. We know that he had one-on-one private lessons with secular Jews, people that were far away and far removed, professors, scientists, professionals, etc., from academia. We know that he gave classes to the Hasidic persuasion, the Babib, Bells orientation. And we also know that he gave shiurim to the Lithuanian yeshivish world and their yeshivas and their neighborhoods. And obviously he taught the Bachrim of Lubavitch and Tomchit Mimim. And what we see again and again was how Rabbi Yoel was a genius at reading the crowd. And one of his great qualities as an educator, which you could say, I don't think anybody comes to his level in this talent. He's able to read the audience who he's talking to and go into their mind and then show them the light based on wherever that person, the recipient, the student is holding, where his mistake is coming from. And then show them show them where they had it wrong or saw it wrong, and then bring the light over there. And it's a similar concept. What's the idea of Shiva Bloshin? You could say, like the first reason I said, why Moshe Rabbeinu translated it into 70 languages, the Rebbe said, because he saw the future and there'll be a need for it. So therefore we have to make sure Torah is available in every single language. And the same things with Rabbi Yoel. The talent lies in being able to show the relevance of Torah Chasidus to every single level and to people of all walks of life, laymen, truck drivers, construction workers, electricians, plumbers, to professionals, academics, teachers, professors, and to every single different sort of group. That's the beauty. The real beauty of Torah is Torah Tzivalonu Moshe Mirashik Yaakov. Torah has what to teach and is relevant and essential to every single person. And this is our job. What are you doing in this direction of taking Torah and translating it to 70 languages? What are you doing in this direction? Spreading and teaching to others and to bring it down to the level of where they're at so that they should appreciate it. L'chaim, Rabbi Yoel, Bereb, Nachman, Rafal Nachman, Hakoyin Kan should have Elias and Neshama is, but now it's good for ganz Klal Yisrael. And the main bracha should be V'kitzav Ranu Sheikh Ne'ofar V'hu B'seicham B'gula Mitzvah Shleima. Take of me ad mamish. Maybe should help that this year, before we actually come to Motzei Shabbos, should come the Gula Mitzvah Shleima, take it from Yad Mamish, by each one of us making the resolution to improve and enhance our work in teaching others and helping others and share the light and the enthusiasm and the beauty and the profundity of Torah, will accomplish the Amos Aikosi Mar L'Chishafutza Meinesecha Chutza. Take it from Yad Mamish. Posting from my home, Be'ez Hashem Yisbarach, your man in Melbourne.